I think, as always, when we look at these kind of things, there's probably sort of a multi-layered cake of Chinese motivation. I think the first is a general sense that relations with the U.S. are cratering, and they're unlikely to get much worse. So why not? Another motivation is, I think, the idea that other countries, aside from the U.S., who might normally, in normal times, respond with something more than just rhetoric, the UK, Europe, maybe Canada, countries like that, are sufficiently distracted by the COVID situation that maybe they won't do so. That probably has some merit. Third, I think China has a lot of concern about what's happening on Taiwan, not so much what President Tsai is doing with her inauguration, but rather how the U.S. is approaching Taiwan. That stimulates a desire on China's part to demonstrate the inviolability of Chinese territorial integrity. They can't reach out and touch Taiwan, but they certainly can Hong Kong. And fourthly, to your point, I think it is reflective of a sense of anxiety, and I use that term deliberately rather than weakness, on the part of the Chinese leadership coming out of the COVID situation where there are serious concerns about the state of the economy, the employment situation, and so on. And so again, a desire to show that this is not the time to suggest that perhaps the leadership in Beijing is not in control of Chinese sovereignty.
Sure. Right, Christopher, most are calling this as a lose-lose-lose scenario, with Hong Kong also seeing a major chunk of the impact coming in as a fallout of relations between the U.S. and China deteriorating. But who loses the most? Who gets hit the hardest in this?
Well, unfortunately, I think, as you suggest, Hong Kong may play the role of the meat in the sandwich. It's going to be a very difficult situation for Hong Kong. One thing to keep in mind, in 1997, when Hong Kong reverted to mainland control, it was responsible for about 27% of Chinese GDP. Now that number is about 2%. And so therefore, again, China probably sees this as worth the risk in terms of the ability to demonstrate to its population that it's standing up to foreign pressure, and also just the frustration that the leadership has with having given the local Hong Kong government, in its mind, several opportunities and several warnings to pass this legislation, and nothing having taken place. So therefore, the leadership has felt it's time to finally step in and just get the job done.